In Europe, a significant portion of rail network is electrified, reducing the need for diesel-electric trains compared to the US or Canada. However, minor regional tracks often remain unconnected to the grid, where self-fuel trains become essential. In the late 1940s, Czechoslovakia introduced a unique railcar featuring an air-cooled engine and a type of a manual transmission similar to that of a semi-truck. World War II severely impacted many countries, including Czechoslovakia, which needed to restore regional transport. The railcar fleet became highly diverse, incorporating German cars received as war reparation as well as some pre-war machines. In the long run, maintaining such variety was impractical, necessitating unification. Consequently, in 1946, the Ministry of Railways tasked Tatra with engineering a new, non-grid connected railcar. At the time, the railways were operated by Československé štátne dráhy, following orders and laws from the ministry. The objective was straightforward: to create a non-grid connected railcar capable of operating on every track in the country, powered by Tatra's diesel engine. Such railcars were unprecedented in Czechoslovakia, and engineers from Kopřivnice had to consider various inspirations. They drew engineering solutions and designs not only from pre-war machines, but also from impounded German vehicles, such as the DR-135 series. 2 years later, production began in 1948. With a brief pause between 1951 and 1954, it continued until 1956. The railcar earned the nickname Hurvínek. Its exterior design inspiration is apparent, though the Tatra M131 had some unique features. It had an 8-sided cabin with equal control rooms at each end. These control rooms were skewed outward, unlike the earlier recessed or later 4-sided German designs. The single cabin train measured 12.1 meters in length and accommodated seats for 48 passengers, a space for a total of 69 fares. The ministry's basic requirements was for the new train to operate similarly to the German railcars, with a small diesel engine paired with a mechanically operated transmission that was familiar to everyone. To support the local market, the state insisted on using Tatra's own power plant. Fortunately, Tatra had previously designed a diesel engine for track application, and with some minor modifications, it was ready to be installed in the new railcar. The V910 was a 75-degree air-cooled diesel engine with a 14.8-liter displacement across its 12 cylinders. Originally used in the Tatra 111 since 1942, it featured an all-cast iron architecture with twin cooling fins and twin 6-element injection pumps, which provided excellent reliability and ease of maintenance. The engine used a bolted crankshaft in a tunnel crankcase and incorporated 3 camshafts. Since the modernized version with the dish pistons and an intake inside layout was introduced in 1952, the M131 railcar likely used the initial version with dome pistons and hot V configuration. In its military application, the V12 engine delivered 210 horsepower at 2200 RPM, which was reduced to 180 horsepower for track use to enhance reliability. For the train version, known as the T301, The power was reduced to 155 horsepower at 1600 RPM, and it included an additional oil cooler. This engine was placed in the middle of the railcar under the passenger floor and powered a single axle through an axle gearbox, which allowed for direction reversal. There is a 24-volt onboard system charged via a belt-driven dynamo into the lead battery. The M131 also featured a 4-speed transmission, but it was of a completely different construction compared to the Tatra 111's one. Developed by Otto Milius and constructed by his firm Deutschen Getriebe GmbH, it was a semi-automatic fully synchronized transmission with a gear preselection. It was combined with a dry 3-plate pneumatic clutch operated by a hand lever similar to an automobile clutch pedal. The gears were selected using a center lever, allowing the next gear to be pre-selected immediately after shifting. The first gear was engaged by moving the lever down to the left, the second by moving it down to the right, engageable from 12 km/h, the third by moving it up to the right, shifted at 20 km/h, and the fourth by moving it up to the left. The fourth gear was engaged at 39 km/h by turning the lever clockwise, while downshifting to the third was done by turning the lever counterclockwise. It was advisable to pre-select neutral afterward, which was more suitable in case of an unexpected emergency braking. The top speed was about 60 km/h. The gearbox had previously been used in German railcars and was designed for smaller engines with an output of 68 to 184 PS, weighing 195 kilos. Although production ended in 1956 with 549 railcars produced, the Tatra M131 gained widespread popularity. It became well known among the general public, partly also due to its appearance in the TV movie series Slunce Seno. The Tatra M131 served in Czechoslovakia until 1984, when it was gradually replaced by the newer M152 model, which was equipped with a Škoda 6-cylinder engine. Many of the M131s have been preserved in good condition by rail enthusiasts and are occasionally used as historical attractions.